I'd like to start with you, Dr. Becker, this time, and then go to Mr. Balazs and Ms. Mund. What do you think are the elements of a successful U.S. immigration policy? We've talked about controlling the border. What's your vision for accomplishing that objective? Would this include deporting immigrants who are in the country illegally? And how many should we be willing to deport?
Yes, well, we know that we need a secure border. A country without a border is not a country. And to whatever degree a country is a redistributive welfare state, which we are, you can't expect to have any type of open border and be able to handle the influx of people who are coming because they rely on those benefits that they expect to get. But once we have a secure border and we can vet people properly, so we can stop the flow of fentanyl, which is causing overdoses in North Dakota and across the nation. We can stop the human trafficking. We can stop the admittance of terrorists. Once we do that, then we can start looking at, okay, what can we do? Because if we can improve the flow of vetted immigrants who are here for merit-based reasons, for opportunity, I think that's fantastic. We can streamline so many of the processes. We can enforce the HB1, HB2 visa process. And I think once you do all of these things, you have a secure border, you streamline the processes that are in effect, you enforce the laws that are in place, we can then have a secure border from which we are protected from this invasion from the South, but we allow people to come in, and immigrants really over the course of the last 200 years, of course, are what made America.
Mr. Balazs.
Yeah, we're sending them all home. Everybody came here illegal, has got to go back. That's just the way it is. You can't start in this country as an illegal and then pretend you're going to become a citizen and assimilate. So that's hard news for somebody out there. But to pick through all those people and then give them status in front of somebody who legally is trying to immigrate into the United States, who's followed all the processes, did all the forms, and is waiting in line for a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, how long they're waiting. I know a lady, the mom of a friend of ours, who was 38 years in the process, because she was a farmer's wife and she raised kids and they paid taxes. When she finally had time to go get her citizenship, that's how long it took. That's just wrong. So if you want to know what to streamline, leave the laws in place that we have. And let's take all these guys off the border that are doing this processing for asylum. We still have plenty of law enforcement guys to close the border and get back to what they're supposed to be doing, which is processing those people in, because they deserve it. They came here legally. And there are real asylum claims, right? But not the ones you're seeing at the border right now, for the most part. The other piece of that is we need to do more than just look at enforcing the visa process for workers. If you go over to the sugar beet area, you'll find that we can give a 30-day visa out to somebody and they have to sit on one machine. Now, you know, there's 50, 60 machines for stacking beets. You can't move that person right now. Even if you brought him in and paid for everything, you know what they do, right? They pay for the lodging and everything else. You can't move him 4 miles. That needs to be reworked. We need to get with the businesses and make the visas work. And all that's that revamping or reworking of immigration we should do. But none of this stuff about going through this 12 million or 50 million people. You've heard me say it before, it's going to be hard to get rid of all these people. But we have systems in place, and they're already paid for, to send them back, to put them on planes, to get them out of this country. You're going to have to do it. With the kids, it's going to be a little harder because you're going to have to find them and then get them back with their families, but you can do that. And the last thing I'll add is if you had a barn full of rats, you wouldn't give up. You'd go down and start killing them. So you got to start deporting at some point, and that's what we're going to do.
Historically,
my turn. Sorry. So it's an honor and a privilege to be a U.S. citizen. And if we want legal immigration, we need to incentivize it. We need to make people know that the way to get into this country is to do it legally. I'm a candidate strong in belief of law and order, and I think that applies to everyone across the board. So there are no exceptions. So it's an honor. It's a privilege. We need to enforce it. I also would have supported the Bipartisan Border Security Act. This was something that Republicans were able to bring forward under a Democrat president. And we have to stop making the border a political statement. We have to stop using it as a campaign point. This is something that is impacting our communities right now. And, you know, being able to eliminate the fentanyl, or at least decrease it, the amount of fentanyl, the illegal drugs that are coming across the border, you know, by bringing more enforcement, by empowering the men and the women at the border with more funding to make sure that people know you have to be in this country legally, is the best way to do it. And I really think it was a missed opportunity on behalf of the the party to not take that leadership, to not, work with the Democrats who are technically getting a lot of heat for supporting this. Because to me, our safety, our communities is not a political statement, and we need to secure the border, and we need to do it now.